For today's maths, I want you to get your workbook in front of you and open it on a new page. Now the first thing we do, make our minky monkeys and write the date. Today is the 1st, so 1-7-2020. Okay, so write your maths date and draw a line. Then we are going to make a X and we are going to fold our page in half. Okay. Now since this is maths, I'm going to explain it to you guys now. We are not using our minky monkeys, so I want you to follow very closely to everything that I'm saying. Skip one line and then write 1. Next to it, 2. Skip 1, 3, 4. Skip 1, 5, 6. Skip 1, 7, 8. Skip 1, 9, and 10. Okay, for today's activity, we are only going to focus on rounding off to the nearest 10. Because I want you guys to be comfortable with this, only focus on rounding off to the nearest 10. Okay. So, if I give you this number, please write it down, 623. Write down that number. Good. Now the first thing that we have to do before we round off is put it in our houses. Now we're not going to draw the entire house over it. We just make, remember the last one is always my unit, 10, 100. Alright. Now all of these, I already said it, I want you to round them off to the nearest 10. So we went through some strategies, we went through some steps that you guys can use to work out how to round the number off. There was the baby and the bully way, there was the Cuba way, there was the little rhyme about when it climbs the vine and when it goes down to the floor. You can use any one of those that makes you feel comfortable. I'm going to use the simple technique where I circle, underline, and then I decide, do I go up or do I go down? So, first things first, I want to circle the number that I want to change. So, round off to the nearest 10. Which one is my 10? The 2. So, I circle my 2. Now, which number is going to tell me what the 10 should change to? The one right after it. So, I underline the 3. And now I make my rounding off sign. The rounding off sign is 2 little waves basically. It looks like an equal sign, but it's just 2 little waves. Alright, here's where we must use our brains. The 3 tells me that the 2, does the 2 go up or does the 2 stay the same? Does the 2 become 1 more or does the 2 stay the same? Let's have a look. 3. 0, 1, 2, 3 stays the same. 4, 5, 6. No. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 stays the same. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 goes to the next. So it stays the same because it's a 3. So I write my 6. I didn't touch it. 600 stays the same. And we used our 3, so it becomes a 0. Okay, that was just for practice. That was just to kind of refresh your minds as to what rounding off is. Let's look at number 2. Write the number 55. Okay, we put it in our houses. The last number is always a unit. One next to it is the 10. And now we start with our rounding off process. The first thing I do, I circle the number that I want to change. The 10, round off to the nearest 10. So I circle my 10. Which number is going to tell me what it should change to? The one right after it. So I underline my 5. Good. Now I make my rounding off sign and I decide, does 5 mean that my number stays the same, or does this 5 mean that that one goes to the next number? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 stays the same. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 goes to the next number. So this 5 makes this one go to the next number. What's the number after 5? 6. And we use this one, so 0. Okay, I'm going to do 2 more examples with you, and the rest I want you to do by yourself then. Number 3, write 1, 0, 7, 6. Okay, I want to put them in my houses. So the last one will be my units, tens, hundreds, and then this one is my thousands. My thousands. Now, which one do I possibly want to change? I have to circle that one, and that will be my 10, because we said all of these are rounded off to the nearest 10. Which number will tell me what that 10 should become? The 6, the one after it. Now I make my rounding off sign, and I look at my 6. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 means the number stays the same. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 means it goes to the next number. So since this is a 6, will this be a 7 or will this be an 8 when I've rounded it off? This will become a 8. So I put my 1, I put my 0, I put my 8, and then I put a 0 in the place of the 6 because I used it. Grade 2, if this is at this moment a bit tough to understand or to grasp, I do not want you to stress about it. You guys are almost coming back to school and we have a whole revision program worked out. Do you guys remember we said revision is when we go over something again to make sure that we understand it? So yes, we are going to go through rounding off again. Please don't stress about it. We are going to do this. You're going to get it. All right, number 4. Let's try something new. Write 1, 9, 8. Write 198. 198. Now I put them in my houses, units, tens, hundreds. Okay. First things first, which one am I trying to change? My 10. So I circle my 10. Which one is going to tell me whether it changes? The one right behind it. And then I make my rounding off sign. Okay, now this one you need to use your brain. Okay, so switch your brain on. 8. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 means the number stays the same. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 means the number goes to the next one. So since this is an 8, it means this will go to the next one. Now can I go right? 1, 10, 0. No, I cannot, because then I'm forcing the number into a new home, and we don't have permission to do that. So let's think about it. This 8 means that this becomes the next number, which is a 10. But now, if this is a 10, the extra little one goes to this side. So my eventual number will be 2, 0, 0. Okay, let me explain it to you this way. If we had, let me show you here. Hundreds, tens, units. It was 198. Okay, This one made this go into a 10. But look at this. If we write the number 10 now, we said, okay, 0, there cannot be two numbers in one house. That's not allowed. There cannot be two numbers in one house. So 0 will stay in this house. The 1 will go to the next one. Since there is now 2 here, that is a 2. We have our 0 from the 10 and we used our 8, so it becomes a 0. Okay, this was a tricky one. I just wanted to show you how it could look at times. Don't worry about it. I'm not going to give you another one like that. The next 6 I want you to do on your own. Remember, all of them are rounded to the next 10. So I'm going to write down the number. You can pause, work out your sum. I'll read the next number, write it down, pause, work out the sum like that. Okay, so this number will be 73. Work that number out, round it off to the nearest 10. First put them in their houses, then circle the one you want to change, then underline the one that is right behind it. Look at the underlined number. If it is a 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4, then your circled number stays the same. If it is a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, then your circle number goes to the next 10. And remember, once you've used your underlined number, it becomes a 0. So pause, work that one out. I'm moving on to number 6. Number 6 is 10. Put them in their houses, circle your 10, underline the one right behind it. If the underlined number is 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4, then the 10 stays the same. If the underlined number is 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, then the 10 goes to the next number, the next 10. Number 7, 127. Use the steps. Put them in the houses, circle your 10, underline the number behind it, look at the underlined number. If the underlined number is a 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4, then your 10 stays the same. If the underlined number is a 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, then the 10 goes up 1, becomes 1 more. Remember, your 100 stays exactly the same when you rewrite it because we didn't use it at all. And then the underlined number becomes a 0. Please don't forget that. Number 8, 733. Use your steps. Here you can pause the video and work out that sum. I'm going to move on to number 9. 4,569. Put them in the houses. We have an example like this one. Look at your examples. That's always a good thing to do, is to look at your examples, see what did they do in the example, and then apply that to your sum. Do that with your new sum. Alright, so put them in their houses, circle your 10. Don't bother with all of the other numbers, ignore them. You are only going to use your 10 and the one behind it. That's all. Don't let the others fool you. Good. And then number 10. 289. When you are done, you can draw a line. put them in their houses. Circle your 10 because I'm asking you to round off to the nearest 10. Underline the number right behind it. If the underlined number is a 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4, the 10 stays the same. If the underlined number is a 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, then the 10 goes to the next number. And remember, your hundreds or your thousands are just, are just being carried over to the other side of the sign because you didn't use them at all. They are just along for the ride. And the underlined number becomes a 0 at the end. Okay, we will go through rounding off again in class. So I don't want you to stress about it, but don't slack off just because you know that we're going to do it again. If you feel like you can understand it, practice, practice, practice. Okay. After this, we are doing science. So I hope you guys actually coped with this. I'll check next week. All right.